Thanks again to our volunteers who are doing our applesauce prepping here. Kind of too many apples for Hannah to do by herself. So right now we've got a peeling table and we've got a slicing and chopping table, and they're very efficient over here. Awesome. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah. I'm the Cleaning Project Coordinator here at the Chautauqua County Rural Ministry. We're really excited to be able to offer some food preservation classes in addition to our regular cooking and nutrition workshops. We're also lucky to have a lot of local wisdom and excitement in the community, like people like Hannah who are willing to come down right before finals week at the college and kind of show us what she knows about applesauce canning that she's done with her mom and herself. So we included in the packet just a description of what you would need step by step. So when you go home, you don't have to like try to remember, wait, how long did I have to keep those jars in? So the using boiling water canners is just general info. The next page is specifically about applesauce. So if you want to go home and make applesauce, it gives steps for how to select good apples, what to do specifically to prepare the applesauce for canning, and it tells you the recommended processing time for applesauce. All of our sources where we got this information should be listed. One great source that Hannah and I both love is this Ball Blue Book of Canning. It's just really simple. I see a lot of head shaking, like maybe you've seen it before. It's really cheap. I think I've seen it at Walmart for maybe $5 or $6, $7. Tons of recipes in here. There's another sheet in the back. Actually, I was going to hand it out. I'm going to pass around this other sheet, which has one additional sheet of recipes besides that applesauce one you're getting. This is from the Ball Blue Book of Canning. On the back, Hannah prepared an applesauce coffee cake for us to try, which I'm really excited about. That recipe is also on the sheet, so we'll pass these around for you to take home.
Applesauce bread or cake?
Applesauce coffee cake.
Woo!
Yeah, that's awesome. So I think we're ready to introduce Hannah. Hannah is a student. She's a senior at SUNY Fredonia this year. She's the president of the Campus Climate Challenge and is just really involved with local food issues. She also interned this past summer at Gone Garden CSA Farm, where there was plenty of cooking and vegetable discussion going on. So, Hannah, you can say more about where you're coming from, but we're really happy to have her. So, thanks, Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm originally from Rochester, but when I came here, right now I'm attending SUNY Fredonia. And I realized I really like this area, so I think I'm going to stay here. And also it has the gleaning project and this kind of stuff, which is really awesome. But because this is canning applesauce workshop, I figured I should tell you guys how long I've been canning, so maybe get your trust. I've been canning for about 2 years. Compared to some people, they're like, well, I've been canning for 50 years and 30 years. I've been canning for 2 years. And I went home from school. And at school, it's all pre-packaged food. And I got so sick of I don't want a cookie in a plastic container. I don't want applesauce in this little plastic container. I was sick of it. So I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, how do I can? Can you can? And she's like, yeah, I think so. I haven't done it in a couple years, by a couple, in a couple decades. And she didn't even have a canner either. She didn't have the big pot, but my Aunt Linda did. So we go over to my Aunt Linda's house, we're like, can we use your canner? And she's like, yeah, sure. She hasn't used it in 30 years. So we bring it home and we start canning. And the first thing I ever canned with my mom was applesauce. And we made 20 jars of applesauce. Right now, it's kind of late in the season to make applesauce. They've been in cold storage for a while, but they're still pretty good. We made our applesauce in late October when they're the freshest, because you want to use the best apples you can find. By using the best produce when you're canning, ensures that you're going to have the best canned food. Makes sense, I think. So we canned applesauce, and she taught me all the stuff, all how to do it. And now she's like super excited about canning, and I'm super excited about canning, and I think it's making this great comeback. I think it skipped a couple generations, canning did. It definitely skipped mine. It skipped the 40-year-olds, I think. And so it's making a comeback, I think, with this generation. Because we want good food. So local, fresh food, or canned food is pretty good food. So I guess what is canning? I have my little cheat sheet here. Like, what's the science behind canning? I always wondered, like, how does it work? How can you store fresh apples for like 2 years? And so what canning does anyone have an idea how it works first? Or does anyone know how it works? A little? A lot? I'm going to take like a course on canning science. I haven't, not yet. I'm an environmental science major, but they don't cover that. So what you do is, how it preserves the food is it gets all the oxygen out. That's why, like, oxygen is the #1 thing that decomposes material. So let's say, like at the bottom of landfills, there's not a lot of oxygen reaching the bottom of landfills, and that's why stuff sticks around in landfills for so long, is because there's no oxygen there, so it can't decompose. So what you do is, like, you heat up everything, you heat up the jars, you heat up the can, the lids and everything, and you pour in your hot, for applesauce, you cook the applesauce, you pour it in hot, and you put it on, you put it in the water, and you heat it for 20 minutes in the boiling water bath. And what it does is the heat makes the liquid, the applesauce inside the jar, expand and push out the oxygen. And so if you ever like look, you'll see little bubbles coming out from beneath the lids. And it's really fun to watch, for me at least. And that's how it preserves it. It's getting all the air out of it, all the oxygen, so you can keep your applesauce on the shelf for like 2 to 4 years in a dark, kind of like cool environment. Basement, great place for it. So, does anyone have a question? I guess I should go over how exactly you make applesauce, because we're going to do it in the back. We're going to have hot plates out here, but it's quite a process. So, we'll just like cook it up in the back. So first of all, like, you peel the apples. My mom is so crazy about the peels. Like, if there's one little tiny peel left on an apple, she'll be like, no, you have to make sure, like, there's no peel. I was looking in the applesauce that Roberto Fred, and it's awesome. He did all the apples, but I saw some peel. My mom would not like that. So first of all, you peel the apple. We have one of those like nice hand crank ones over here. Although it's kind of old. The newer ones have this suction on them, so you can like put them anywhere and just do it. But sometimes it like kind of pops off. You just pop it back on. So you peel it, then you slice it and core it. And we like chunky applesauce.
Yes.
Who here is a chunky person? Yeah.
I don't want to raise something.
Yeah, chunks are good. So, and then what we do is we cut it, and we cut it in the first and the eighths, and then we cut all those eighths and the thirds. Practice your fractions if you have kids, or if you just need to practice. And then you cook them up, and I'm not sure how many apples make like a quart of applesauce. We always just make sure that we have a bunch of jars ready, clean, hot jars ready. Well, you guys know, you have it on your sheet. I don't. But you always want to make sure you have enough jars ready. And so what we where was I in this process? Oh yeah, we cook it.
I'm so sorry about that.
You can add cinnamon or nutmeg or whatever. Some people add sugar to their applesauce. I think 1/4 cup of sugar for every. It's in the bell book, blue bell book ball. but we don't add sugar. We add just a little water because otherwise